on tennis's biggest stage is a monumental feat for any 21-year-old player. Dude, we keep forgetting that this girl is only 21 years old. Actually, it's easy to forget because of how mature she appears to be in interviews. Also, a historic first for the Philippines. With this victory, Eala became the first Filipino player in the Open era.
To watch Eala, Evil Federer had to arrive. She has been so amazing over the past week and a half. However, Eala's run is over. She has left Wimbledon. She displayed tenacity, courage, and resolve. However, this was only the start of something truly remarkable. A huge congratulations to Jasmine Baldini, who advanced to another Wimbledon quarterfinal. She defeated Eala in 3 incredible tennis sets, with momentum swinging back and forth before she simply prevailed. Before dessert, Wimbledon saw that the loudest attendees had left and gone home after rolling out the velvet rope. After Alex Eala left Wimbledon, spectators started wondering if the competition had suddenly lost some of its energy. This is the strange discussion that was going around. Has the internet elevated a fantastic tennis tale into an even greater legend, or was one up-and-coming player truly able to alter the tone of a whole Grand Slam? It began to feel more like the largest Filipino family get-together in the world than a tennis event. Stay tuned, because this gets really crazy. Even seasoned tennis fans found it difficult to describe how the atmosphere altered each time Alex Eala entered Wimbledon.
Congratulations. Nika was in here a bit ago and she was saying that she was struggling in returning your serve, especially when it got slower.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering if you noticed that at all tactically, that sometimes the slower serves can throw off the rhythm of an opponent, and it's something that you can use as a weapon, even if it's not a powerful weapon.
Yes, I have never really been the biggest server in comparison to a lot of the girls here. So I do my best to use my serve as an advantage. You know, I think I have a lot of other strengths.
There were flags everywhere on the property. On practice courts that often drew only a few onlookers, cheers resounded. And everyday games from the first week took on the intensity of a Grand Slam championship. I would like to thank Eva Lees for her feedback. Alex Eala is exactly what tennis needs, she says. Eva, I wholeheartedly concur. Even though Alex Eala's Wimbledon career ended today when she lost to Jasmine Paolini in the round of 16, she still has a lot to learn and be proud of. Anticipate. As you've undoubtedly already heard, Alex Eala became the first Filipino to ever reach the second week of a Grand Slam after defeating IGA's fiancé, the reigning champion. When her incredible trip was finally coming to a close, an unexpected event occurred. Who was still competing was no longer the only topic of discussion surrounding Wimbledon. I'm cheering you on, Eala. Continue the Filipino trend. She has a certain quality, representation that truly appeals to me. Seeing how many flags are raised for her, how many people are tweeting about her, how many people are watching her videos on YouTube, and everything else is just really encouraging. I simply like it. It's a distinct flavor, you know. In the pot, it's a different spice. I also enjoy her game. Eala is comparable to the contemporary Angelique Kerber, and I can support her. Rather, they started discussing the player who had already departed and how one young woman had managed to become one of the tournament's main draws. That sums up how remarkable Alex Eala's ascent has been. She was seen to be a promising junior with enormous potential just a few years ago. She is currently one of the most well-known new faces in women's tennis, and her historic Wimbledon run demonstrated that she belongs on the biggest platform in the sport. Before losing to Jasmine Paolini in an exciting 3-set match, Eala stunned defending champion IGA Swiatek to become the first Filipino player to advance to the 4th round of a major slam. She left center court with something that rankings alone cannot quantify, even in defeat. Throughout her incredible run, she garnered the respect of tennis enthusiasts worldwide and sparked festivities thousands of miles away in the Philippines, where large public viewing parties remained crowded. Here at Tennis Weekly, Alexandra Eala is making more tennis court history. She is the first Filipino player to advance to the second week of a major in the Open era. Chris, I won't lie. I don't think I've ever seen anything like the response, buzz, and support for Eala on a scale. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. She receives a great deal of attention and creates a lot of buzz, in my opinion. It's larger, in my opinion, than some of the best athletes in the sport. The fact that none of this seemed fake was perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the narrative. People were not persuaded to follow Alex Eala through a complex marketing strategy. Filipino supporters didn't need to be informed that history might be happening right in front of them. They saw it right away. Every triumph turned into an excuse to get up early, spend time with loved ones in front of the TV, or cram into sports bars and neighborhood watch parties while proudly donning the Philippine flag. Despite being held in London, Wimbledon felt oddly familiar to millions of Filipinos worldwide. Inside the All England Club, that amazing support became unavoidable. Normally peaceful practice sessions suddenly drew audiences that were several rows deep. Volunteers, security personnel, and tournament organizers soon realized that whenever Alex's name appeared on the schedule, far more people than anyone had anticipated showed up. I believe that being a competitive athlete, especially at this level, comes with pressure, but everyone has pressure built into their lives at some point. Take a look at the average Filipino, such as my parents, who have made so many sacrifices and put food on the table for my brother and me. I have no idea how much strain they have endured. Everyone, including the parents, is relying on me to pay for this. The frenzy around her went well beyond official matches, as evidenced by the hours that fans anxiously waited to watch her hit ordinary forehands and backhands during practice. It was more than just a matter of patriotism. For months, tennis commentators had been trying to figure out why Eala had emerged as one of the most fascinating young players on the circuit. She doesn't rely on overwhelming strength or powerful serves that can immediately conclude a point. Rather, movement, intelligence, anticipation, and extraordinary resolve are key components of her game. She consistently makes opponents play one extra shot, hunts down balls that many players would give up, and refuses to give up rallies that seem lost. Her confidence has increased significantly with each big tournament she has participated in, and these attributes have made her one of the most interesting defensive players among the sport's up-and-coming generation. Throughout the 2026 season, such consistent development was evident. These kinds of victories are the beginning of what may be something truly exceptional. It's a fantastic story, in my opinion. What's intriguing, in my opinion, is that Joel is in the ideal position for the draw to proceed even more smoothly. She really is, after all. Do you think she's a serious contender? In my opinion, you have to be vying for the championship if you're the one eliminating the reigning champion. Additionally, I believe that the pull is beneficial to her. But what are your thoughts, Chris? Do you believe she is now a serious contender? She regularly advanced to the final stages of important competitions after establishing herself in the world's top rankings, proving that her breakout results were anything but coincidental. Analysts no longer saw her as a dangerous outsider who may provide one unexpected outcome by the time Wimbledon arrived. Rather, they saw her as a real threat to some of the biggest names in women's tennis, and she rewarded their faith by spectacularly eliminating one of the tournament favorites. The women's draw was entirely changed by her triumph over Swiatek. All of a sudden, the cheerful 21-year-old who was representing the Philippines took center stage in television shows that had previously highlighted well-known winners. The story of the boy who had practically overnight become one of Wimbledon's top headlines was quickly reported by international media. Fans who had never watched Alex before became curious in her training, adventure, and the incredible support that followed her to every competition. We've witnessed the emergence of a superstar in this game, and I'm certain of it. Eala's run over the past week was exceptional, something she can be genuinely proud of, and something she will do. The manner in which she performed, the tenacity with which she played, and the number of spectators behind her. Overall, it's a week she can be proud of and develop upon, regardless of her box office performance. She is building quite well, and 2026 has been a building year. The manner Arise has dealt with her increasing notoriety has been one of the most innovative features of her. As their success grows, many athletes inevitably become more well-known, but Alex maintains the easygoing demeanor of someone who just enjoys competing. Friendships off of the court make life simpler with a hectic international schedule, as other players have frequently noted when describing the amicable environment that emerges among younger competitors on tour. Without losing sight of the intense competition needed once the first serve starts, Eala has subtly assimilated into that new generation, fostering partnerships throughout the locker room. Her popularity has only grown as a result of that balance. Athletes who maintain their approachability despite rising expectations are valued by fans. Despite being one of tennis's fastest rising stars, every autograph session, practice appearance and interview confirmed the idea that Alex had not changed. Her genuineness has emerged as one of her biggest assets in a time when social media frequently promotes meticulously constructed celebrity images. And the reason for that, in my opinion, is that she comes from a country with just one player. She is the one who is leading the way. Therefore, I believe that she is likely the first person in the nation to become enthusiastic about tennis. And, really, what a breathtaking sight. She is a fantastic representative of the sport. Additionally, I believe that she is a Rafa baby because she attended the Rafa Nadal Academy. Perhaps she is now receiving support from a worldwide audience in addition to the Spanish audience. Joel, though, is she now even more anticipated than Fonseca? I believe so, and I believe she now has the tennis to support it. Disappointment. Understandably swept throughout the Philippines as her Wimbledon career ultimately came to an end against Paulini. After the last point, there were no festivities, just pride and the natural sadness that comes at the end of an incredible athletic journey. However, even that setback seemed to emphasize how much she had already achieved. Thousands of people attended public watching events in Manila to cheer her on during her fourth-round match, according to Reuters, demonstrating how much the nation had invested in her success. It's interesting to note that after her elimination, people talked more about the mood she had generated during the competition than about the scoreboard. One of Wimbledon's most gripping stories had come to an end, fans noted on social media. While pundits praised the fervor of Filipino supporters who turned every appearance into something akin to a home match despite being thousands of miles away from Manila, broadcasters pondered how often her matches attracted unusual attention. In the end, Alex Eala's greatest gift to tennis might be that emotional bond. Alex Eala has already defeated Iga Swiatek, who ironically gave her certificate upon graduating from the Rafael Nadal Academy. When Alex Eala advanced to her first Masters 1000 semifinal in 2025 by defeating Iga Swiatek in the Miami Open semifinals, I became aware of her future influence on the sport. Since then, I have never witnessed a tournament without a large turnout of Filipino supporters for Eala. Finally, and in relation to Eva's comment, AA athletes that can draw in completely new audiences are essential to every discipline, and Eala seems to be achieving just that. In addition to introducing professional tennis to a large number of young Filipinos, she has served as a reminder to the sport that greatness can come from regions not typically associated with Grand Slam winners. Instead of just adding another gifted player to an already congested field, her success has enlarged tennis. Undoubtedly, the pattern has also been observed by tournament organizers. Attendance at Alex's practice courts and tournaments consistently surpasses expectations wherever she participates. Fans passionately follow every step of her tournament trip, arrive early, and stay long after matches are over. Because it shows true emotional engagement rather than fleeting curiosity, that kind of persistent interest is extremely valuable. Her rising fame is another example of how tennis has drastically changed to become a genuinely international sport. A comparatively small number of traditional tennis nations dominated discussions about potential champions for decades. That assumption has been contested by Alex Eala. With each triumph, she conveys to young athletes in Southeast Asia that the gap between local courts and Wimbledon might be much smaller than anyone had previously thought. As I mentioned before, I believe that representation is crucial, but it transcends nationality and is so multifaceted that it is precisely what you described as being able to recognize yourself in another person. I believe I would be quite content if I could do that for other people. Yes, in addition to the fact that I believe we frequently discuss tennis as a unique sport that you must master on your own. And today, it was very evident how many and how much you were carrying. The prospects for the future appear even more thrilling than the accomplishments she has already made. She has proven that she is capable of competing against Grand Slam winners, performing under extreme pressure, and motivating millions of people in the process. These are traits that cannot be acquired through coaching sessions or enhanced by practicing more on the court. They grow via experience, perseverance, and a steadfast conviction that those who are prepared to take on greater challenges will succeed. Alex Eala departs London with something equally important as Wimbledon progresses and another winner eventually raises the renowned trophy. She left tennis as one of its most captivating new stars, having come as one of its brightest possibilities. Her incredible run served as a reminder to the sports world that championship celebrations are not usually how history is announced. Sometimes it starts with a young athlete who embodies the aspirations of an entire country, packing practice courts with fervent fans and demonstrating how one memorable 2 weeks can alter the course of a sport forever.